All right, in Nigeria, the Minister of State for Trade and Business Development of not Nigeria, the island of Barbados, Miss Sandra Husbands, love that name, says the 2022 AfriCarribean Trade and Investment Summit, starting on Thursday in Bridgetown, is a unique opportunity to facilitate common economy between the African continent and the Caribbean. In an exclusive interview with Arise News in Bridgetown, the minister highlighted a number of wide-ranging areas of trade and investment cooperation between Africa and the Caribbean economies under the current threat to globalization.
This is the first time that you have Ethiopian Airlines and this very huge contingent come to the island. What is in the package for this conference?
This conference is so important, not just for Africa and Caribbean, it's really important for the world. One of the things that we have to be able to do is broaden trade. So far, the patterns of trade have tended to be north-south and south-north, but we've not had a lot of south-south trade and south-south investment. This actually helps to create a more inclusive, more highly integrated global trade environment by encouraging investors from across the globe to be able to invest in many different areas, and the developing world has many opportunities. So coming together with our African fellow investors to be able to discuss some of the areas in which we can work together, to be able to create jobs for our people, to be able to utilize our existing capital, to be able to build up enterprises in our own economies is going to make us stronger and is going to help us build greater independence. And that is why this is so historic and so important to our future.
Well, tell me a little bit about the relationship putting this together between AfriCarribean and the government of Barbados. Walk us through a little bit how this was made possible at this very particular point in time in which the global economy is going through a lot of stress and risk situations.
Indeed, it is actually propitious that we are doing this because the economic environment is going through a great deal of stress and strain. Our position is we have to help carve what it will look like in the future and not just be recipients of what other people are going to do. Hence, what we were able to do proactively is to start to build relationships with governments in Africa, and we would have started with Ghana, we would have started with Kenya. Barbados actually established embassies in both of those countries. We also have relations with Morocco, but we're also looking at doing business with other African countries. It makes sense, therefore, that one of the things we would want to do is to see how we can become a part, for example, of the African Union, to have a trade agreement between CARICOM and the African Union so that we can reduce the duties and encourage and support more trade. Also, if we're going to make trade happen, we have to have access to financing, and therefore the Africa Exim Bank is going to be critical to being able to provide for the African enterprises and for Caribbean enterprises the opportunity to get financing that is reasonable, that will promote trade. Africa will benefit tremendously from this in terms of the Caribbean enterprises growing, being able to pay back those loans, but at the same time, we're going to be able to provide more jobs for all of our citizens. So if Caribbean is buying more African goods, that helps African enterprises. If African societies are purchasing more Caribbean goods, that helps our Caribbean enterprises and our economies. So it's a win-win, and the African Exim Bank is critical, playing the part of making available the allocation of credit that allows us to shape and design this future of greater South-South trade between Africa and the Caribbean.
Thank you very much for speaking with us on Arise, and we hope the next 3 days is going to be very engaging with the delegates that we have on the ground and this very beautiful island.
And we welcome you here, and we look forward to a very highly successful Africa-Caribbean Investment Conference. And we want to thank Ms. Kay Braffett from Invest Barbados, who has worked assiduously with our African counterparts to be able to put this together. So we are deeply appreciative.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, madam. Thanks for hosting us, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
From Arise News Channel here on the island of Barbados, I am Bosin Amofai reporting for Arise News.